everybody, it's bank holiday Monday, just looking through some of the videos. There was me denying everything and going up to London and breaking all the golden rules. So I feel okay, I've broken all the golden rules. I've been out, I've been on trains, I've been to one of the busiest stations in the world. But these are some of the videos that I've been putting out, trying to show people what's going on. I've been doing it since January, which I'm going to show you a part of a video from January I did. I just want you to hear it again, what they're saying and what it's about. When I watched the video and got to the end, I suddenly just got caught to this, and this. Wow. NASA is into that. You should go and look up what cognitive engineering's all about. Anyway, it's an application of cognitive psychology and related disciplines to the design and operation of human-machine systems. Cognitive engineering combines both detailed and close studies of human work in the actual work context and the study of the worker in a more controlled environment. There you go, you can read, you can look it up yourself. I should never be amazed, even though in the video I'm going to tell you that we're only looking at cartoons, but this is what it's probably all about. You can't help it when you see things or when you're shown things. NASA's promise. I thought about it sitting here because I'm thinking, well, I know how a lot of us feel right now. But then I thought about it. They may not be lying, because it depends what promise they're keeping and who they're keeping the promises for. Anyway, let's begin. Even though everything they're showing you is just cartoons, they want to manage us. Look, help manage urban mobility. What the hell do NASA want to be with all these drones and helping the urban mobility? Here we go. Urban mobility is the vision to revolutionize mobility. Look at it. This is NASA. Metropolitan areas, transport. And I said again, you just need to look up what cognitive... I tried to find whether the news were following it. CNN, ABC, the whole lot. No one's talking about it. They bring up that man there who's got 40 odd views on it, where he reckons that they're making a brain. Though that person just down here, that man, they're making a brain. They want us all plugged into a brain. But there is nothing. When you look up cognitive engineering, it just doesn't come up. ITV, BBC. I looked them up. It doesn't come up anywhere. And yet this is what they're doing to us. So the very thing they're doing to us is not being reported. Do you see what I mean? You can only find it in the third place, not the first place. And NASA want this whole organisation. Urban mobility, revolutionise metropolitan areas. We should be more concerned about what's happening, because I swear to God, I feel right that we're being taken over by these people. They had $50 odd million for what, 60 years? They've got enough money to look up to run the countries. They've got our birth certificates. The mortgagees take out life covering you. There's masses of money in the background that they could use to cognitive engineer us into believing what they want us to believe. So NASA's running everything. NASA must be running the media, the politicians. It's NASA, the military side of NASA. You do find people having these talks here, right? And it's all, so they gather the community, testing the technology. Unbelievable. Shaping the future. Do you see what I mean? They're getting us ready for the cartoons, because they're all cartoons, and we're going to believe that they're running us when they're not. There's nothing to run. It's just all computer simulations. But anyway, there was a few people that I'd like to say thank you to. Was Richie from Boston, who's trying All I see, basically, is the only people they're at war with is us, right? We're now the enemy. And the only thing that looks like is happening is that we're being taken over like we're some entity, some commodity, which is what the law states, that we're not human beings, that we're commodities, and that we are being cognitive engineered into believing all this. We are the enemy. Please wake up, everyone.
Something good going to happen. I really believe that. There's something very good going to happen. We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries as of this morning. 184 countries. Something good going to happen. I really believe that. There's something very good going to happen. We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries. Period. This horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world.
% plus range. So there's still a significant amount of disease there, and everyone needs to continue to follow the guidelines. New Orleans metro area, 800 new cases per day, but a seropositivity rate on their testing of 28%. Detroit metro area, 1,400 cases per day, 26% positivity. Chicago, 1,200 cases per day and 18%. Boston, 18% positivity, 1,100 cases per day. Denver has fallen to 180 cases per day, but still has 15% seropositivity in their testing. California and Washington have stayed stable at about Seattle, 350 cases per day. The LA metro area, 800 cases per day. But their test positive rates are remaining in the 9% range. And so this really gives us some idea of what it takes. They have been continuously mitigating. Imagine what we're talking about, New York going from 40+% seropositivity and 11,000 cases a day down to the LA metro area of 800 cases per day and 9%. So this is what, when the president talks about reaching the top and coming down, those are the kinds of things we need to see. And the percent. So this is what, when the president talks about reaching the top and coming down, those are the kinds of things we need to see. And the only way we will see them is if every American continues to follow the guidance.
What's going to happen? We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries as of this morning. 184 countries. Something good going to happen. I really believe that. There's something very good going to happen. We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries. Period. This horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world.
Y'all gonna derail the train, bro. The train need to be derailed. They're trying to take over. This the railroad track behind the oil mill in Opelousas. Where are they going with this? Either way, the train stopped and now it's backing up. Backing up to do what? They might be able to unload all these tanks. And if you notice, the tracks got rubber on them. It's been brought to my attention that's for driving on the road. For rolling on the street, y'all. Yep, see? Y'all still gonna argue that martial law ain't in effect? Yeah. Anybody know the definition of quarantine? Forced isolation. How you think they're gonna enforce isolation? About 400 tanks, that's what they're about to do. Yep, here comes the engines. Yep. Yep, bro. Prime documentation right here, bro. Sunday, 1700 hours, 329, Opelousas, Louisiana. That's what we got, bro. About 400 tanks rolling in the town. Maybe 100. I don't know. I don't know, a bunch. Peace, y'all. Maybe 100.
We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries as of this morning. 184 countries. Something good going to happen. I really believe that. There's something very good going to happen. We have to get back. So think of it in this horrible period, this horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world. 184 countries. Period. This horrible, dark period where this monster came and worked its horrible, horrible spell over the world.
And also Russianvids had a good hangout with him the other day. A lot of people on Unscrambled might not even know who Richie from Boston is, or even who Russianvids is. Russianvids was a much bigger channel, and then through another situation in America, his channel was used on a national TV station. I think it was Australia, and then when he woke up his channel had gone. Now Russianvids channel right now shows 40 or 50,000 people, but this man had a lot more subs, and Russianvids has kept going. And in this community, you may not know him, but he has a lot to say, and we'll just play a little bit of what he says.
If you're gonna believe in the moon landing, you're gonna believe we live in a spinning ball zipping through space. If you're gonna believe the nonsense of the event that happened in Connecticut, you're gonna believe in all these other events, you're gonna of course buy this as well. And that's what the public has done. They're buying into all the lies. You're gonna believe in all these other events, you're gonna of course buy this as well. And that's what the public has done. They're buying into all the lies. And they can't go where the truth is because the truth is too crazy to them.
I said a few months ago there was a garage that closed up and a new garage took over. Yes, the stock change, which isn't happening at the moment, but it's as if we've been bought up by somebody else, because we're not human beings, we're a commodity. And so they've treated us just like commodities. It's like they've sold us or something.
Well, yeah, that's what it's been for since the beginning with the people that run this world. Of course, they have to pull off the deception like they really care for us when they really don't. And I always talk about this, Karen, where they give us the truth in movies and music and lies in the news. That Michael Jackson song from years ago, like I said so many times, these so-called artists are giving these lyrics to music.
What, in that song, they don't really care about us? That was a good one.
You just took the words out of my mouth, Karen. You just said it, and I'm glad you did, because people are getting it and knowing what's happening in this world, where they're giving us that truth in the duality aspect, and that's a huge thing. And that's they're portraying people like Michael Jackson and others in Hollywood as heroes, these celebrities as heroes. but they're absolutely not. They're just puppets on a string, of course, as we know.
Yeah, I think once we start following people like you, it's a bit like you can get your book out and the time out and the date out, and then you can see it all, can't you?
Yeah, to me, it's crystal clear, you know. And the big thing with me, Karen, is I tell this to people all the time. I'm not part of obviously the mainstream, believe in that nonsense, and I don't join the crowd of conspiracy theorists. I have my own person. I'm not lumped with any group. I have my own mind. You know, people, for example, people really push chemtrails as harmful and dangerous. That might be the case in some instances, but I look at it this way: we have to be realistic. You know, people talk about coronavirus and like we know it's a phantom virus, a ghost virus, where basically no, it's not out there. There's no real outbreak. It's just an invisible enemy that does not exist. Well, you know, we talk about how we know no one's dying from it. They have all these big names.
This Russianvids with a name like COVID-19 sounds quite military to me.
Yeah, it's yeah, exactly. The one thing I want to mention, I'll be concise with it, is all these so-called celebrities. You have Tom Hanks, one of the biggest names in Hollywood, the biggest name, one of the biggest names in Hollywood, Tom Hanks. You have you know, the actor from Game of Thrones, the James Bond girl. You have Prince Albert, Prince Charles, all these huge names supposedly contracting coronavirus. CNN's Chris Cuomo. The list goes on and on. What I'm getting at is
it's freaky, that isn't it, with the list of actors and high-powered people.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people think they're being arrested, but I don't think so.
No.
I just think they're part of the game.
Yeah, and we'll get to that, but I just want to be finish what I was saying. Is we don't know anybody that has this coronavirus personally. There's always this, you know, oh, my coworkers, uncles, next door neighbor has it. It's never anybody directly anybody knows, and people just, and this is like the latest craze, latest fad, where, you know, it's like the ice bucket challenge, where we see these videos of all these hospital workers, you know, doctors, nurses dancing around in videos. This is supposedly a deadly virus that's going around. Bodies are supposedly piled up in morgues, and people are dying in hospitals over this, and they're really just embellishing in this. What I'm getting at is we have to be realistic. Like I was saying, the cosmic accident, we didn't come from monkeys. You know, why there's still monkeys if we came from monkeys? But to round it all up, if we're a cosmic accident, we came from nothing. We're just just here randomly. We're gonna need vaccines. We're gonna need medicines. I don't touch medicines. I don't touch vaccines at all. I just drink my nice herb.
It's best not to go to the doctors at all. But that's my point with the hospitals being empty. They're empty because the hypochondriacs aren't there anymore. I'm not saying there aren't ill people or people may not die from complications, but I'm just saying, where's all the people that would have been going? I just don't think they want the you know, the test.
Well, the big thing is with me is this, Karen, and I'm gonna say this bluntly, and it might hurt people's feelings, but it's the truth. You know, we're truthers. What are we doing as truthers? Smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, eating foods with high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, MSG, all this garbage. What are we doing to ourselves? Poisoning ourselves with the people that run this world, eating their products that they're creating. Get back to eating natural. Get back to drinking those herbal teas from leaves that the Creator created for us. Everything is there that we need. If people just get back to the basics, everything in this world is very simple. Here's a big thing I'll throw at you, Karen. This is the problem with people. They don't think they're smart enough. They see people on TV that use very sophisticated language. They seem so intelligent and articulate, and it's to the point where people can't understand them, and they believe them. Like, for example, when it comes to science or NASA or any of this nonsense, people sit back and say, well, that person, I'm not exactly sure what they're saying, but they sound very intelligent. I'm just going to go along with what they say. They're on TV. They must know what they're talking about. They must be telling the truth. They sound very intelligent, so they fall for those lies. Just like I told you before about Dr. Oz and how he's pushing vaccinations to millions upon millions of his followers.
Yes, I put that one out on Unscrambled.
It's his own wife and children don't get vaccinated, and people see this. So they're literally telling us, it's not by accident, they're telling us these vaccines aren't safe. My own wife, I can't convince her, but I convince a total stranger in you to get vaccinated, but my wife won't get vaccinated. So what I'm getting at is nothing's hidden in this world. They're literally telling us these aren't safe. And if you don't take Dr. Oz's warning, my wife and children don't get vaccinated, but you do, there's something definitely wrong with that picture.
Also trying to tell us we should just relax and and look into NASA cognitive engineering, because that's what they're doing to us right now. Cognitive engineering. They have engineered us to believe in what we're being told, like a virtual reality machine. Please wake up, everybody. We need to wake up.